Rosy friends, it's Julie, and today I would like to just do a little bit of a rant kind of topic about taking Rosacea on vacation, because I have just finished booking, well, I've been kind of booking over the last little while, my first vacation since 2012, because I don't take very good care of myself apparently, and I don't take any time off, but now I'm going to, and I'm looking forward to it. And I just wanted to point out that actually when you have rosacea and you don't want to, and you want to do everything right, and you don't want to mess around with your triggers and things that you've worked so hard to identify, going on vacation is actually really hard. I've done a lot of advanced thinking and planning and things like that with rosacea in mind, and I've had to kind of rebalance my mindset in terms of how I'm dealing with rosacea while I'm away, because while I'm at home and I'm going through my regular routines and things like that, I can I've gotten in the groove of sort of knowing what I can eat and how to protect my skin when I go outside in the sun, and just basically all the different exposures to things that are all around that are triggers for me, because I have a lot of triggers. I've sort of found a way to work it into my life to just go about my everyday business and not set them off. But on vacation, that's a totally different thing. So I thought I would just sort of talk about them a little bit and see if anybody else has gone through the same thing, or if you've got any tips for me before I leave, that kind of thing. But the first thing that I found out is that you have to pack an awful lot of extra stuff. I never previously was anybody who brought a lot of things with me. I was back when I was a younger teen. I was one of those people that, like, even going to the place, before buying any souvenirs or anything like that, I was already sitting on my suitcase to try and get it closed. And since then, I've really changed a lot, and I basically have all the basics, just throw them into the smallest possible bag and off I go. But now that I'm traveling, that I'm actually focusing on trying to keep my rosacea in good condition, keep the flare-ups under control and that sort of thing, I found that I have to pack a lot more. And it may not seem like a lot just on the list, but when you try and put that into a small bag, it really adds up. I made a list actually in my paper here, and like I have skincare, so I have a moisturizer, a cleanser, a toner, a treatment, and a moisturizer, and that's just my regular everyday skincare. And then I have a sunscreen on top of that if I need that, and then I have any cosmetics I need to use as well as that. Those are all perfectly normal things. And then I have a grapeseed oil, which I'm using right now to take off the makeup that I do apply. I'm assuming that I'll be applying it because I'm going to a very nice restaurant one night, and so at least one night I'm going to want to look really nice. So there's all of that. Plus, I can't use the hotel shampoo, which is something that I always used to use because my face reacts to things that I put in my hair as well, so I have to bring my own shampoo and conditioner and my coconut oil product that I use to moisturize my hair so that it doesn't just end up being this big, dry, brittle frizzball kind of Velcro thing. So I have all of those things as well, and that doesn't even include any styling products if I plan to use them. I probably won't. I'm hoping that my hair will just behave itself because I don't want to I haven't really found styling products that work well with my skin, so hopefully I won't need to use them and my hair will just behave itself. Beyond that, I have my light therapy because I'm doing the experiment right now that has the green, amber, and red light. If you haven't seen any my previous videos about that, I'll put a link to the first one there. But yeah, so because I'm doing that, I will have 3 bulbs, and I can't just use my little Ruby Lux travel ones because I'm trying to stick to the exact same bulbs the whole time, so I'll be traveling with the larger, I mean they're not that big, but they are larger, lights from Smarter Lights, and so I have the 3 bulbs in their boxes to keep them safe, and then the 2 lamps that basically a socket on a cord that I use to plug those in, because otherwise if I can't use them at the same time, you know, like do the first one and then do the second one and the first one and then swap out. If I can't do that, then I'll be sitting in my hotel room shining lights at my face for quite some time. So I have all of that. On top of that, I have to bring pillowcases because I react to all of the bleaches and strong chemical detergents that they use in hotels to make everything super clean, and I do appreciate that they're working hard to make things clean because yuck, but because I react to that, I will be bringing my own pillowcases, and actually it was it was one of you, my Rosy friends, who actually gave me that tip in a previous video. You know who you are. I commented back about how much I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that tip. Really, really appreciate it. Gonna make a big difference on this vacation. I just know that it will, because I will just have basically my own fabric washed with the Earth's Berry soap nuts, like natural detergent, and I won't have to worry about that. I also need to bring a few extra supplies that I'd like to have on hand in case of an actual flare-up if it happens. Basically, if it happens a little bit, I'm just going to try not to worry about it and think about it. I will just deal with it. But if it's really burning and things like that, I do like to have extra water bottles on hand, and I do have little first aid ice packs. I know that I can't actually, keep a frozen ice pack on me all the time, but they do have the kind that are chemicals, and it's like a little pack. You can get them in virtually every first aid section of the drugstore, and you just break you sort of squish the bag and the chemicals inside mix together and they freeze. And they use it a lot for, if somebody bangs their head and that kind of thing. Well, I use it to stick it to the back of my neck to cool down my whole upper half so that I can bring down the temperature of a flare-up. It works really great. I love that. So I have to have that kind of thing on hand too. So that on its own can fill up like half a weekender bag right there. So, that much stuff is being brought just to keep my rosacea under control, and that doesn't include if I'm bringing a parasol or a large brim hat and anything like that to keep sun off my face, because sun is my top flare-up causing factor. That's my biggest trigger. So sun protection is actually really, really super important to me, and that includes on cloudy days and when it's cold out. It's not just when you can feel the sun, it's all the time. So basically, even if it's cold and gray out the entire time that I'm away, I'm gonna have to have sunscreen on or a big brimmed hat or something like that, just if I want to go outside. Otherwise, I have to spend my entire vacation inside, and I'd really rather not do that. Yeah, so tons of stuff has to go just because you're taking rosacea on vacation. Also, I'm going to be going somewhere where I'm going to be going to spas for the first time, and that was also quite a trial to try and book treatments that weren't going to cause my rosacea to flare up. Especially because I'm doing the trial right now for all of the light therapies, I'm not going to do any facials and things like that with products that I've never tried before, so I'm not going to have, go to a spa where they're going to do all these treatments and facials and things like that. Plus, a lot of the things that they do are not rosacea friendly anyway, because we're not supposed to get things like scrubs and peels and acids and all that kind of stuff. Beyond that, a lot of the things that they do are, hot oil massages or hot rock massages and things like that. All of the extra heat flares up my face. No saunas and jacuzzis and things like that. So basically any of the aqua treatments or heat treatments or muscle treatments and things like that, they would just go directly to my cheeks and flare them up, and then I would either feel very uncomfortable or very ugly for the rest of the vacation. Also at spas, there are so many different scents and heat, temperatures and things like that, so even if you go without all of that stuff, if you go for a mani-pedi, you're still risking all of the different fragrances in the air and things like that, all of which, again, irritate my skin. I don't know what triggers you might have, but they trigger me. So basically, overall, my strategy has been to be careful, but accept the fact that there are going to be things that are going to trigger the rosacea, and I'm just going to bring some extra makeup with me that I know doesn't cause irritation, and I'm just going to deal with it, because I can't, as much as I'm going to take a lot of care and bring all those extra supplies and things like that, I'm not going to just live my life for my rosacea. I have to just live my life. So I am going to be doing a big aqua therapy thing at the spa where I'll be staying, and there is a part with a sauna in it, and I'm just going to talk to them and see if I can reduce the time that I spend in there and take more time in some of the other things that are cooler. I mean, there's one thing, it's called, I think, the glacial shower or something like that, where they pour, like, where you basically stand under freezing cold water. I think that's after the sauna. So maybe I'll be able to spend more time in all the other stages of it that are cooler and less time in the eucalyptus scented sauna. I'm also going to do what I can to protect my skin from sunlight, but I'm not going to stay indoors. I am going to go and get my nails and my hands and feet done. I think that will be very nice, and it will make me feel very pretty. And across the street from me, there's a cafe that has apparently a cup of chocolate. It's basically like drinking a chocolate bar. I haven't had chocolate in months because it's one of my triggers. I want that, and I'm just going to deal with the consequences. I will do my light therapy with great care. I will treat my skin very well. I might even bring the supplies to do my turmeric and manuka honey mask. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a link right here. It's fabulous. I absolutely love it, and I've had some great feedback from some of you who have tried it, so really recommend checking that out. But you know, I'll bring the supplies for that and just apologize to my face afterward. But I guess when you go on vacation, you just have to enjoy the vacation. And when I get home, I'll probably have a pretty flared up face, and it will be a little bit uncomfortable at least, but I'm willing to deal with that and wait for the healing and things, because when you take rosacea on vacation, you have to just go on vacation. That's my opinion anyway. If you have other tips and things like that, or if you have another opinion altogether, I welcome you to share that in the comments below. I would really like to see what you think as well, because honestly, you can tell because I haven't been on vacation since 2012. I'm not big on vacations, or at least taking them all the time. I'm really excited about this one though. One little note that I do want to just point out at the end of this rant, while I'm ranting, I just want to say I'm going like on my own. I'm booking, this is my first vacation that I'm just taking just for me, all on my own. Super excited about that. I wasn't sure what kind of response I was going to get from people, but they have been so excited for me and saying, you know, oh my goodness, that's going to be so much fun, and you can just do whatever you want whenever you want. There's no compromise needed or anything like that. You don't have to settle for going somewhere you don't really want to. It's all going to be just sort of some really thorough me time. So that was very exciting, except when you're trying to book a trip for one. Anybody who has ever tried to book a trip for one will understand what I'm talking about. It's surprisingly hard. I mean, you can book, if you have all the money in the world, you can book a trip and it can be awesome, even if there's just one of you. But if you're looking for things like discounts, there are tons of discounts out there, and they are all based on double occupancy. You need to have at least 2 people to go with you to take advantage of the vast majority of the deals out there. I was lucky, after a lot of digging, I found one that I found like really great and worthwhile. But all of the deals are for double occupancy. You have to be 2 people to get a discount. Apparently, singles are not wanted. And that's another thing. If you do look into, okay, you know, you get frustrated with the double occupancy thing, and you look into vacations for singles or vacations for one, they are all designed to help you to meet people so that you'll end up leaving your vacation with a relationship, or at least you've had a fling on your vacation. That's not what I want from my vacation. I do want me time, and I want to have a great time, and I want to go out and see lots of things and try lots of things, but I'm not looking, I mean, if I met somebody, that'd be fabulous, but I'm not actually looking. That's not what I'm on vacation for. So actually booking a vacation that is specifically designed to help me to meet another person just seems wrong. I'm not going to do that just to get a discount. So that's another thing, is that any vacations that are designed for one seem to be trying to get you to be in a relationship. The last point that made it really hard to book a vacation for one person is that everywhere you go, when you make your reservations, they're always asking, when they ask you for how many, which is a totally normal question, they don't say for how many. For example, when I booked the table at the very nice restaurant that I'm going to be at, where I'm going to be eating, they didn't say for how many. They said, will that be for 2? And I have no problem with doing things on my own. I like doing things on my own. I like doing things with my friends. I like doing things with all the other people in my life. I really do. But I also like to experience things on my own. So when I'm constantly having to say to people, no, not for 2, it's just me, suddenly I feel judged. And I know that's probably not how it's meant, and I know the person at the restaurant really probably couldn't have cared less that it's just going to be me at a table, other than the fact that it's just going to be me at a table, so I'm not making as much money. But it feels like you have to almost make an excuse when you're saying it's just for one, and that just stinks. So after having battled through all of the double occupancy issues and having, you know, been told that if I want to go on vacation on my own, the whole purpose is to meet somebody, having to then book all of the other things like tours and things like that, and restaurant tables and say like, nope, just for one, when they all say, is it for two? That's just another thing that makes it just all the harder. I feel so lucky that the people in my life are so supportive, so that every time I do talk about my vacation, it's always really positive that I'm going on my own. But yeah, so I just felt while I was ranting about taking Rosacea on vacation, I may as well rant about the other part too. So if you can relate to any of that, I hope you'll leave me a comment and let me know. What experiences have you had? Have you been on vacation on your own before? Was it fun? Did you find it hard to get a deal? Did you find people seem judgy or surprised when you said that you were going all on your own? Just really super curious. And yeah, so that's all the points that I wrote down here to cover as I was thinking through everything for this video. I hope you found it entertaining and informative. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this one, I make new videos every Sunday and Thursday, so please subscribe to my channel. And other than that, I will see you next time.